What's up, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the overall markets. Just note that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Moomoo link. If you deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $2,000 more, you're guaranteed 30 in total, not to mention 8.1% APY on invested cash. The offer ends very soon. It ends at the end of March, so please check it out before they run out. Anyways, now let's talk about what's happening with the markets. So I just want to say that in my video yesterday, I was mentioning that SPY had this resistance where we rejected 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And I was worried that if SPY had lost that 589 area, there'd be a risk of downside because look, we actually were rejecting yesterday, struggling to break past this resistance. But instead of continuing that move down to lose 590, SPY got bought back up. And I said for us to turn bullish, you want to break 595. So I still hold that view, right? Instead of continuing to dip, we got this gap and we just started to push, and the market's now looking bullish. So it's a complete U-turn the market's making. As long as we're above 595, SPY could continue to push even higher. And we're going to be looking for essentially 600 as our targets, eventually the all-time highs. There's plenty of room for upside, guys. It's not like the move is just getting started. And I just want to make it seem like I want to make it very clear that sometimes unexpected things can happen in the markets. Sometimes you'll be expecting a move and something different can happen, and that's why you always want to be adaptive to these very, very key levels. So in this case, it does not look like SPY is rejecting anymore. We managed to hold above support, and now we're starting to break out of this trend line. This is the first time this happened in many, many weeks. So this could try to continue to push from this point on as long as we hold 595. Why are we pushing? Well, there is something coming out. We have the 60th ceremony known as Inauguration Day that's coming up. Mr. Trump is going to become president officially, okay? And it's going to be happening on Monday, January 20th at 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific time, or much earlier. A little bit later for Eastern Standard Time around like noon. So, anyways, what's happening so far? What on earth is going on? I just want to make it very clear that on Monday, okay, the stock market's going to be closed because of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. That means that there's no trading Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. So after today is done with, the stock market's going to open again on Tuesday, meaning the next time the market opens after this open today, Trump is going to be president. Okay. And Trump is known for wanting to deregulate or taxes. That could instill more confidence in the markets. We had Nvidia's CEO and Nvidia, kind of criticized the current administration. I say this in a very unbiased manner. I'm just telling you the truth about what they said. And they could be kind of easing up to the next administration a little bit more. There's always that possibility. We know that Elon Musk and Tesla's team are also doing the same thing. Elon Musk is in favor of this administration, so that tends to be bullish for Tesla. And you guys can see where I'm trying to go with this. That's having an effect on the markets, especially once this guy is in office. Okay, and I'm trying to throw all biases aside when I say that. I'm just being very truthful. Love or hate this new administration. It's your choice. I respect that. Whatever you guys want to think, it's your rights to have an opinion. I respect that 100%. I'm just saying that the market has a completely different view as a result. So now when it comes to data, just know that we have industrial manufacturing numbers coming out at 9:15 a.m. Besides that, there's no other significant pieces of data that are coming out. I do want to mention that SPY has about 1.5 million of these calls expiring and over 3.2 million puts expiring with a 580 max pain and a 2.23 put to call ratio. So will the market makers try to squeeze shorts? It's always a possibility. And one of the reasons why they're pumping things could be because of Inauguration Day that's coming up. This could cause a very, very big move. For earnings, there's nothing too significant for the rest of today. We had SLB announcing earnings. They did relatively well. They had a nice beat when it comes to their overall numbers. So they beat on EPS with about $9.28 billion. And they beat on revenue with $9.28 billion, and EPS was at 92 cents, all above expectations. Their full year guidance of $36 billion was also in line with expectations, which is good news for them. Besides that, we're looking for some decent numbers right now. I did see what happened with SpaceX, so it's sad to see that, but that is normal because Launching rockets is very difficult, so of course there's going to be mishaps and issues once in a while. Fortunately, no one was harmed from what I'm looking at, so that's a good piece of news, and hopefully that they make a strong comeback after that happened. Besides that, right now the market is still holding up, and now all news are going to be on Trump during his next inauguration in the next couple of days. So, what do I see for the markets? It's very simple. If SPY loses 595, we're looking for essentially this 593 area. If that fails on SPY, we're looking for that gap fill back down closer to 590 and then all the way back down to 588 if that fails us. If that fails us, we dip back down. So watch those supports. 595 and 593 is the two main ones. If we lose those, we turn back down. As long as we're above 595, this breakout here, as long as we're above this trend line, as long as we're above this resistance, we're favoring a push up towards 600 and then eventually, closer to all-time highs at this point because this could be a breakout. So we are looking bullish right now. This is a big U-turn from yesterday, especially as we're now starting to push. So just keep that in mind because we're breaking this level. That's a complete flip-flop, and that is helping the market in a lot of different ways. So as long as we're above 595, SPY is bullish, and we could be looking for 600 plus. QQQ is also looking bullish. If we were to lose 517 and also this trend line right here, we're looking for a dip back down towards the gap area around 513. We need to lose 513 to turn back down. So 517, 513 turn us back down. As long as we are above the 519 to 520 area, we favor 524 on the QQQ. So keep those levels in mind. As of right now, we're favoring upside for 524 or above. And then we could even be pushing into like the 530s or higher if that breaks. For the Russell 2000, if we were to hypothetically lose 222, we turn back down to 219 or below. And as long as we're above 225 to 226, this could be trying to push this imbalance towards 230. That could be a breakout. For ES, as long as we're above 5950, we're favoring a push higher for essentially 6040. This also resembles like an inverse head and shoulder, so it does favor that upside move into the 6050 plus area, so it does look bullish. As long as we're above 6000, we favor upside even more. For Bitcoin, we have a nice little rebound that's forming right over here. We have this double bottom. If we continue to hold above 102,000, we're looking for an attempt to get back up to 105,000. If we end up losing support at 101,500, we could be dipping, but this is favoring upside in my opinion. For others out there, like individual stocks, we're looking at Nvda. Just know this, there is this gap down here. In case we do lose 135, look for 133 as the main support for us to bounce off of. This could be a low and a higher low that was made, so this favors upside. So whether it's, that gap fill and a bounce, or if we just bounce from here, it favors upside for 138 then 140. Tesla's looking bullish. As long as we're above 420, we're looking for 424. Eventually 440 is our targets. But more specifically, there's 424s, and eventually I would say closer to 430, which is where this gap is. And then if those break, then I'm looking for 440. Looks bullish so far as long as 420 holds. And if Tesla were to dip back down, look at support at 409 to 410. If that fails us, we dip back down for essentially the lower 400s. Apple's looking more promising as long as 230 holds. If 230 fails us, we turn back down. But as long as we could hold above 230, we're looking for an attempt for 234. For coin, we're looking at resistance right here at this 291 area. This is where we broke out from. If that breaks, we could be pushing closer to 300. If we lose support at 288, we're looking for essentially 280. So keep that in mind. Amazon looks more bullish as long as we're above 225. This is a complete U-turn. Inverse head and shoulder setup could be looking for 228 as a target. So this looks bullish. Same thing with Meta, nice inverse head and shoulders setup. As long as it does not lose 615 to dip to 608, this is favoring 625 and eventually 630. Microsoft looks a little bit more bullish as long as we don't lose 428 and 424 to start dipping. We're favoring a push for essentially 433 or above. Google also has an inverse head and shoulders as long as we don't end up losing 195. We're favoring a push for basically 198 and then eventually 200. So my view of the market is that we're looking bullish now. This is a complete U-turn from before. I know, guys, that I can't predict every single move 100% accurately every single time. And sometimes unexpected moves could be made, but that's why we want to always be adaptive and we have to be able to adjust based off the levels. Like in my video yesterday, I mentioned that if SPY had broken 595, we'd be bullish. And if we had lost 590, we would turn more bearish. Because we were rejecting off the trend line, I was concerned about that. So if you guys look at how this looked yesterday, we didn't have these green bars. So that's the reason why we have analysis like that. But in this case, now we're gapping and trying to break out. So it's a complete U-turn and the market's making a comeback. With that being said, I thank you for listening. We are looking bullish as long as SPY is above 595 and the QQQ is above like 520. And we're seeing the bulls coming back. So this could be a nice move approaching Trump's inauguration. So please keep that in mind. Thank you for listening. The bulls have control for now. So we'll give this some time and peace out.